Welcome to GermanStudios, dein Podcast für Deutsch lernen. Ich bin Timo, ich bin dein Host und ich freue mich sehr auf eine neue Folge mit dir. Vielen lieben Dank fürs Zuhören und viel Spaß. Hello everybody and welcome back to a new episode from GermanStudios. Ich bin Timo, ich bin dein Host und heute haben wir die zweite Stunde, the second class actually, from the A1.1 for you. And again, like the previous podcast, I hope you also listened to the previous podcast as well. If you didn't do yet, I definitely recommend to do this before you're hearing this one because they are connected to each other. Because we are doing something similar what we did in the previous podcast. In the previous podcast, I was introducing you with the first steps regarding learning German. So actually really like the first class from A1.1. And today we would do the second part of it. So before we start this podcast, please go to our website www.germanstudios.de. And if you are on this website, you can find on top free learning materials. Please click on this and then go to the PDF second class. So A1.1 second class. And if you click on the PDF, you can download it. It's for free. You can also keep it on your laptop or on your appliance you're using right now. If you click on this PDF, you should see like the first page where you can see on the left side me as a little illustration. Ich bin Timo, and you can see Episode 27, so episode 27. And this is exactly what we're doing right now. Today we will speak about some dialogues about Tageszeiten, this means daytimes, and the numbers from 1 to 100. I know that numbers are especially difficult, or let's say not difficult, let's say challenging for everybody, but I will show you how easy it actually can be and how we can cheat to understand the numbers in a second. Okay guys, so let's go, let's start. If you go on our first page, you can see the headline, Die Studenten, what literally means the students. And then you can see on the left side, das ist, and then I added just a random name, Lisa, and on the other side, das sind Eva und Manuel. So in German we can say this is or these are. In English I know you also can say it, but sometimes if you also translate das ist, could be like that is. And that is in English a little bit difficult regarding people because it's a little bit impolite. But in German you still can do it. So you can say das ist Lisa for a single person, or you can say das sind Eva, and then you can say und Manuel for plural, so for minimum 2 or more people. If you just would like to point on them, if you would like to introduce them to others, and so on and so on. If you go on the next page, you can see Dialoge Eva und Lisa. So these are like dialogues, like this is a little dialogue between Eva and Lisa. I will read this dialogue for you and then afterwards we translate quick together. Hallo Lisa. Hallo Eva. Wie geht es dir? Mir geht es gut. Und wie geht es dir? Mir geht es auch gut. So, in English, hello Lisa. Hello Eva. How are you? I'm good. And how are you? I'm also good. So you can see that the question, wie geht es dir, means how are you? And the answer would be, mir geht es gut, if you would like to say that you're feeling good. Mir geht es gut, I am fine. Of course, you also can say, I'm not good, then it would be, mir geht es nicht gut. So, I'm not good, I'm not feeling good. Or you even can say it, let's say a little bit more negative, like I'm feeling bad. Mir geht es schlecht. Schlecht would be written like S-C-H-L-E-C-H-T. Schlecht. This is bad. If you would go on the next page, we have a new dialogue between Lisa and Manuel. Guten Morgen. Guten Morgen, Lisa. Wie geht es dir? Mir geht es gut. Und wie geht es dir? Mir geht es auch gut. Here, I just would like to introduce you with a new vocabulary because morgen. You see the little illustration below? This should show you, or this should illustrate the morning. So der Morgen means the morning. So if you say Guten Morgen, this means good morning. And the rest is the same like before, there's an additional word coming here. Mir geht es auch gut. Auch in this case means also. If you go one page more down, we have another dialogue between Lisa and Manuel. I read this again for you. Guten Abend. Guten Abend, Lisa. Wie geht es dir? Mir geht es gut. Und wie geht es dir? Mir geht es auch gut. Now, instead of morgen, we have Abend. Abend means evening. So, guten Abend means good evening. It's a very nice and formal way of saying hello to someone in the evening. And then if you jump a little bit more down, you can see like a PDF page with a lot of illustrations. And here I did for you the daytimes we have in German. So we have der Morgen, der Mittag, der Nachmittag, der Abend und die Nacht. Please don't make the wrong pronunciation for the last one, because many people say Nacht. It's not Nacht, it's Nacht. Die Nacht. The CH is like a ch. Yeah, it's a very strong sound. So der Morgen, the morning, der Mittag, this is the noon. Der Nachmittag, it's quite funny because nach means after, so der Nachmittag is the afternoon. Der Abend, the evening, und die Nacht is the night. And it's quite interesting because der Morgen, we say, is always from 6 to 10. Der Mittag is from 12 to 3. Der Nachmittag is from 3 to 6. Der Abend is from 6 to 10. Und die Nacht is always from 10 to 6 in the morning. And if you maybe saw right now that between der Morgen and der Mittag, there are actually like 2 hours missing. These 2 hours which are being missing, we are call them der Vormittag. And this you can see if you go the next page down. You can see that between der Morgen and der Mittag, we have also der Vormittag. This doesn't exist in English like this. So we have the morning and then we have the noon. But between morning and noon in German, there's even the before noon time. So after morning, but before noon time. And this is always from 10 to 12. And you can see the little word vor in front of Mittag. And this means before. So before noon, then we have noon. And then we have Nachmittag, and nach is after, so afternoon. So this is how you understand this. And then maybe the question comes up, why we Germans are doing this? Very simple. Because if you, let's say you order some furniture, let's say at IKEA, everybody knows IKEA, and you know you can let the furniture be ordered to you at home because you don't have a big car you don't want, then the people normally say, well, your furniture will be delivered in the Vormittag. Yeah, so this means your furniture should arrive between 10 and 12. Or if they say, your furniture will arrive in the evening, what is not always possible because it's quite late, but let's use it as an example, then your furniture would come between 6 and 10. So therefore it's very, very important. What kind of people or organizations are using this kind of phrases or formulations? Every handyman company is using it. They always say, yeah, we are checking your heater next week. We are coming around noon. Okay, around noon means between 12 and 3. It doesn't mean around 12. It can mean around 12, but it also can mean from 12 to 3. Or if they say, we are coming in Nachmittag, so afternoon. So they come between 3 and 6. So it's very important for you also to know how you understand this kind of sentences or notes, what proper German people are giving you regarding the daytimes. If we go a little bit more down, we have another little dialogue, or let's say a few sentences, about Tageszeiten. I will read them for you. Hallo Manuel, wie viel Uhr ist es? Hallo Eva, es ist ... Punkt means dot. And the dialogue means, hello Manuel, what time is it? If you literally translate it, wie viel means how much, how many. By the way, we don't have this in German, so we don't have how much, how many, but literally it would mean how much / many. How much, many time is it? In English, the meaning would be, of course, what time is it? In German, we have actually 2 ways of asking what time is it. First one, you can go, wie viel Uhr ist es? Second one, wie spät ist es? These are the 2 ways of asking the time. And of course, before you can answer what kind of time it is, you need to know the numbers. And this is what is happening on the next page. Zahlen. This is the headline. Headline, by the way, in German is Überschrift. You also can say Titel, but Titel is more for a newspaper. for Zeitung in German. Yeah, we also have Titel English, means der Titel in German. Und Zahlen is here our new Titel, or let's say Überschrift, which would be the headline. So we can see here the numbers from 1 to 13. And the number 1 to 12, you unfortunately have to learn. I will read them for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Same in English, you have from 1 to 12 individual numbers, and after 12 there's a system which I will explain in a second. So these numbers from 1 to 12 you have to write. And by the way, many people don't know, if you're writing an email or a text, quite often people start to write the numbers from 1 to 12, or in general every number as a number. Theoretically, that's incorrect. Also in English, by the way, this is also what many people don't know, the number from 1 to 12 always have to be written as a word. Actually, never as a number. It's very untypically and theoretically grammar-wise incorrect to write 1 to 12 as a number, because these are proper words. Just in the moment when the words get longer, so 13 in English, you see it's longer, then you can start to write it as a number. And that's the same thing what we're doing here in German. You see 13. So you can recognize already the number 3 because I colored it in white, and you can see the word 10, which is 10. And then below this number, I did the mathematics books. So how is mathematics now related to these numbers? Please go one page more down. Then you can see that I did some illustrations. So 13, which means 13, is actually 3 and 10. And this is please how you should remember it. So because people always get confused, okay, how is 13, how is 14? Always think about 3 and 10, but put the and away. So it's just 3, 10. 3 and 10. Smaller number first, bigger number then, to make it correct. But in writing the number, it's the opposite. So it's 1, 3, of course, because you always make the 10 before you do the little number. But by saying it, we say 3 plus 10. And therefore I said here's the connection because of mathematics, because you're adding 3 and 10. This is 13, 13. If you then go to the next page, you can see that this system is continuing. So we have 14, so 4 and 10. 15, 5 and 10. 16, 6 and 10. 17, 7 and 10. But with the 16 and the 17, please be careful. It's not 16, so you don't have the S and the Z, because it's nearly impossible to pronounce. So the S of Sex drops out. So it's just 16, S-E-C-H, Z-E-H-N. And then for the 17, it's 17. It's not 17, also a very typical mistake. It's just 17. 18, 18, 19. So far, so good. So it's always 4 and 10, 5 and 10, 6 and 10, 7 and 10, 8 and 10, 9 and 10. But as I said, be careful. 6 and 7 is not proper being written like 6 and 7. They have a specific version here if you go 16 or 17. If you go from the 20 onwards, also in English there's a change. So you don't have 14, 15, 16 and so on. And 20 you have a new word. And that's exactly the same what we have in German as well. We have 20. Very important, guys. Many students are pronouncing words in German which are ending on ig totally wrong. They say, for example, 20 or fertig. I know that many people do this, that you can hear this a lot, but this is incorrect. This is very slangy. And please avoid to do this. So a little recommendation. Every word in German, and this is please really important, because then you can really see if someone really speaks clear German or is just catching up some slang versions. Any word in German which ends on ig is a very soft ik pronunciation. So again, every word in German which ends on ig is actually a soft ik pronunciation. So you can say 20, 30, fertig, and so on and so on. Please don't say 20. That's very bad. Continuing our system regarding the numbers, so we have now 20, which means 20. But how do we say 21? So we do a little bit similar system like before. Instead of saying, for example, for 14, 4, 10, I always told you it's actually 4 and 10. We have exactly this system coming now. So 21 would be 1 and 20. And now we have to write the und. from 20 until unlimited numbers, we are having the system, the little number, then you have the und, which means and then you have the 20, the 30, the 40, the 50, and so on. So 21, 1 and 20, 22, 2 and 20, 23, 3 and 20, and so on and so on. So if you go to the next page, you can see again that I exactly illustrated this here for you again, what I said. So you have the 1, you have the und, what you can understand as a kind of plus, which means plus. It's exactly written the same, just the pronunciation is a little bit different. In English you say plus, in German it's plus. So 1 plus 20. Ein plus 20. 21. And here we go. And this is for all of the numbers the same. If you go a little bit more down, you can see the other 10 number steps. So 30, which is 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100, or you can say 100. So 31, for example, would be 31. 42 would be 42. Let's say 75 would be 75, and so on, and so on, and so on. This is the system about the numbers. Great, guys. So these are the numbers from 1 to 100, and you of course can just train them. And I always recommend to my students, take a sheet of paper, write, let's say 20 different numbers on the sheet of papers as a number, and then next to it you just start to create the name. So then you get very familiar with it, and then you should not have any problem anymore. Yeah, guys, that's already the podcast for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it a lot. By the way, if you would like to do a German course with us, we would definitely appreciate it. Don't forget, we are actually, and I think I can say this here, the best rated language school in entire Germany, because we are specialized in teaching German online, and in our classes there are just 8 students always, so we always create a lovely, familiar, cozy and very effective learning environment. Me and Isabel, we are the teachers, so we are professional teachers. We have a lot of experience, and we are teaching since a very, very long time actually. And our students are super happy because we have more than 280 reviews on Google, and all of these reviews are 5 stars. So all of our students are super happy, and we always support our students also besides the class. So we don't see you just as a number, let's say like a customer. First of all, we see you as a student who puts a lot of effort in learning a new language, and we would like to support you as much as possible. And besides of that, we always help with other topics regarding you get any paper from official institutions which you don't proper understand because they are sometimes a little bit tough being written. We can help you by finding a job. We have good connections everywhere. We support you by finding an apartment, and more and more and more and more. So if you would like to join a German class, which is a very high quality German class where we can almost guarantee that you definitely learn with us German on a very high quality base, and on the other side super quick and effective, we also definitely help you. You find with us a kind of friend teacher who are always here for you. We have a WhatsApp support, we have a Telegram group, we have an Instagram account, we have free learning material, we have the podcast you're hearing right now, and we also start soon a little YouTube channel. And yeah, feel absolutely free to message us if you have any question, you have some doubts, or you need some visa support and this and that. We are here for you. I'm absolutely happy if you listen to this podcast. And one last favor for everybody, if you could subscribe and give this podcast a little review, it would be amazing, because this podcast is absolutely for free and should support everybody while learning German, and give everybody who maybe cannot afford right now a course the option to still learn a little bit German, or someone who already learned German to improve the German totally for free. And I love to do it, and I would love to do it also in the future to support you even more. Thank you so much, guys. Have a lovely day, and I'm super looking forward to our next podcast episode. Bye bye. Cheers.